Shirt.
Why the red shirt treatment?
Because they care.
They genuinely care, and they show it with great service and benefits to help me live a healthier life.
I'm grateful for the personal service and caring staff.
Every time I call, they're efficient, helpful, professional, and caring.
We care. It's just one more reason people prefer the red shirt treatment with Independent Health. See all the reasons to red shirt at redshirttreatment.com.
Inspired by actual member comments, paid actors used, experiences may vary.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a senior moment with your host, Kerry Saunders. We talk about your health, staying healthy, your wealth and your golden years, and so much more. And now, a senior moment with your host, Kerry Saunders.
Good morning. This is Kerry Saunders, host of a Senior Moment radio show. You can listen to me every Saturday here on WUFO Radio 96.5, 1080 on a Senior Moment. I hope everybody had an enjoyable Thanksgiving. And you ate well and you're doing well now, and that's really cool. I mean, you're with all your family and friends because that's what it's all about. I was with my wife's cousins and stuff in Atlanta, and I had a really good time. It was nice down in Atlanta. It's warm and, you know. Hey, I was on 2 radio shows in Atlanta. I did 2 radio shows, got a really good feedback. The 2 shows, the Senior Moment was down there for 2 days in Atlanta while I was down there. So I had a chance to do WFO sister station WeGo down in Atlanta. And people were calling in. I got a T-Bone called in, the comedian. It was pretty cool. So I said, Atlanta's the spot. So I had a good time on Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good time on Thanksgiving. Today, on a Senior Moment, we have a very, very good show. You know the downtown supermarket, Braymiller? So we have the owner in that here today, and we're going to talk about the supermarket, the only supermarket downtown Buffalo, and a lot of stuff that's going on with that. So we got to have him in today, Stuart Green from Braymillers. We're proud to have Roswell Park at Comprehensive Center as our sponsor of a Senior Moment. You know, take a personal risk, and take a personal assessment and check to see if you have cancer or not. If you got a primary doctor who says, we might see something there, go to Roswell. Roswell Comprehensive Center is the place to go because it's #1 for cancer research in this area. It's not like a little standing building. It's a hospital just for cancer treatment. And get screened. You know, you can get screened all the time. Just go call Roswell and say, I want to get screened for prostate, breast, lung, everything, and it will hit you right up. So that's Roswell. So weather outside today is cold, in the 30s. But get out because it's Christmas time and it's chilly. And today is Small Business Day, too. So go out to the small business in the area. You know, go do some shopping. Go do some shopping for Christmas. And so we're from Buffalo. We can deal with this all day long. As long as it's not snowing, we good, right? In fact, if you want to go to a small business, there's a small business. I think I say this every week, and I better get her address. Fun Fashion and Finds on Broadway in Depew. You go right down Broadway. It's an African-American woman. She owns the dress shop. It's supposed to be pretty cool. Fun Fashion Finds. Look up online. I think we're still giving a $100 gift card away. So the 10th caller, $100 gift card to Tops. We're giving that away. So we gave away one last week, but the guy didn't call back. So I think we were going to give away 2. So get your pen. 844-561-0220. 844-561-0220. You call that number and you'll be eligible. The 10th caller, 844-561-0220. I don't know, maybe somebody might call here thinking we're doing it here, but we're doing it. And is it phone? Okay, so it's not. All righty. So hey, so we got Stuart Green in here, the owner of Braymillers, and let's get right to it because this is going to be a good show. We're going to talk all about Braymillers, the store downtown. He took a chance on having a supermarket downtown ran into a little trouble financially, and now, but he's still there, still holding on, still doing the good stuff for our community. So we should respond to that. Okay. So good morning, Stuart.
Good morning,
Stuart
Kerry.
Green, how you doing?
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it very much.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Let me put this Facebook over so people can see who you are. So they'll know how you look. How's that? Can I see you?
You got me.
All right. So Stuart, tell us about Stuart Green. Tell our listeners about you, who you are, and where you come from, and so people will know who owns Braymiller's downtown.
All right. Well, briefly, born in the city of Buffalo, actually, 60-some years ago, we'll say. Speaking of senior moments, but born and raised here, primarily in the South Towns in Hamburg, where the original Braymiller store is. Went to high school there, went to college in Rochester, spent quite a bit of my career in the corporate America, some fairly large publicly traded companies. So that's my background. And I worked at the Braymiller in Hamburg as a kid, as a teenager, and in my early 20s.
So that's interesting. You didn't create Braymiller's. You worked there, and then you bought the store.
Yeah. So
okay.
Stroh Braymiller actually started the store in 1941. So we're 82 years old now, coming up to 83 years old. And no, I'm not that old. But that store has been as my daughter phrased it, a homegrown tradition in the South Towns for all of those years. And but yeah, I did work there as a kid. Got to know the second owners. Those were the DeCarlos. They purchased it from Stroh Braymiller after his death. But then, as you now know, I went off into corporate America, did some other things, and I got a phone call one day from out of nowhere from the DeCarlos asking me if I'd be interested in purchasing their store because they wanted to retire. So I had enough of corporate America, and I said, sure. So 8 years ago, I purchased the Hamburg store.
Yeah. I've been out to the Hamburg store, and it's very interesting because it has a lot of unique, it's like a small version of Dashes, a smaller version of Dashes. You got great meats, great produce, all kind of great stuff in there. And then when you drive up to the store, you got great baked goods and all that kind of stuff. So did you transform that store like that, or was it always like that? What model did you get it from?
It started as just a roadside stand, actually.
Oh,
it was
okay.
very seasonal because Stroh Braymiller bought stuff from local farmers back in the 40s. And there's actually pictures of some very wealthy city families that would have their drivers with their limousines and their chefs go out to Braymiller in the summertime and select their produce and then bring it back to the city. But really, that's kind of the way that the store has evolved, because back in the day, it was pretty much produce only and seasonal produce. And they used to, close in the winter and wait till springtime to open again. And but that was a long, long time ago. The store has evolved to be more of a food store, because that's what we are. We don't sell a lot of non-perishable items. It's primarily food. I like to say if you can eat it, we'd like to have it. So supermarkets and super centers and places like that sell all kinds of things other than food. We're not big enough to sell. We don't have enough space for all that other stuff. So what it has evolved into is to have hopefully everything that you need to make a meal. That's our goal, so that you don't have to go someplace else.
Yeah. So now there's a Braymiller's downtown Buffalo. Now, if you're interested in this brand, I know you probably heard about it, listeners, on the news and stuff like that. But it's right downtown Buffalo, and it's right next to the bus station, right?
Well, we're sandwiched between the bus station and the library and the Lafayette Hotel. So
we're right around that area.
Right there. So 225 Ellicott Street, the corner of Ellicott and Clinton is the location.
So do you have the same kind of food you have out in Hamburg?
Very
downtown
very similar. However, in
the downtown store is bigger than the one in Hamburg.
Oh, much bigger.
Yeah,
it's 3 times the size.
Okay.
Yeah, and the city store has a selection of fresh meat and seafood that the Hamburg store doesn't. And the reason for that is out in Hamburg, I have some friends that sell those types of items that are neighbors. I'm not going to compete with those guys. They're friends. In the city, we really don't have any competition. So, and again, back to that model of having everything that you need to make a meal, to have fresh meat and seafood, along with the deli meats and cheeses and the other prepared foods that we have beyond produce. And then the center store products, the grocery items, cans, bottles, boxes, bag type stuff, that's in the middle of the store as well. And we do that in Hamburg as well. We do a lot more of it here in the city.
So yeah, listen, if you go down to the Braymillers downtown, you'll find fresh produce, fresh meat in the counters. They got a great deli, good baked goods, and all kind of stuff down there. It's a really cool place down there. It's right downtown, and so let me ask you something. So the food is similar, like you said. Okay, so why did you open the downtown store? Why did you open because you said you were very successful out in Hamburg, the Braymiller.
Yeah.
So why did you open a store downtown Buffalo?
So what happened with that, and it's a part of Braymiller that a lot of people don't see. There's actually three components to both stores. So there's the retail part that you see when you walk in the door. There's the kitchen that we operate, deli kitchen, whatever. We make a lot of almost everything that is prepared in my store. We make from scratch. We don't buy stuff in buckets. And then we also have the wholesale operation. And I think a lot of people don't understand the wholesale piece. The wholesale piece is for the restaurants, and we like small independent restaurants. We also do a bunch of not-for-profits. We do some drug treatment centers. All those people have to eat as well, so we're providing food to those guys. And other food service entities. The Buffalo Zoo is actually one of our big customers on the wholesale side. Okay. But that magic is what I like to call it, is that we find a home for everything we have. So my best product, I can retail it to you, I can wholesale it to a restaurant, and I can also use it in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So you moved downtown Buffalo because there was a market there, or was a need there, or you were convinced to come downtown Buffalo. Somebody say, hey, come down, because you moved out of Hamburg. You guys still got the store in Hamburg.
Absolutely.
So, but you come down Buffalo to the store down there, and you moved down there specifically to service the community in downtown Buffalo.
So yes, and again, back to my point was the wholesale operations. As we gained more city wholesale customers, it made sense to get closer to that bunch.
Okay.
And again, I wouldn't just wholesale, just like I wouldn't just retail. We have to do all three. And so I was working on another project within the city, and I was actually approached by Simonelli Real Estate, who was developing the affordable housing complex next to my store on Ellicott Street. And they were looking for a grocery component. And all of this was driven through the Office of Strategic Planning and the Mayor's Office, that to decrease crime, you need to increase population. And then to increase population, you need the amenities that residents are looking for. They needed a grocery operator to fill that space. Okay. They went to everyone. They put a national RFP out, and either people didn't respond or they immediately responded as no. And Council President Pridgeon at last Thursday's Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency meeting actually commented that that fact publicly, which is like one of the first times it's been out there publicly. So I want to thank him for doing that.
And and let me bounce on that real quick, because for those who are listening, Braymiller, I mean, you say, well, hey, slow down, maybe somebody else, but Tops didn't want to come in, Dashes didn't want to come in, Wegmans didn't want to come in. None of those stores wanted to come downtown Buffalo. You took a chance on downtown Buffalo, right? Braymillers. You're the one that did that, right?
That's 100% correct.
Exactly.
Now, I was looking at another location, I'll be honest with you there.
Okay.
The mayor's office asked me if I would consider that location, because, they couldn't get anybody else to do it. So I agreed to do it, and that's how we ended up downtown.
So you took a chance on downtown Buffalo, and you're struggling. Is it profitable?
No,
Okay.
it's not. However, and what happened, this all started pre-pandemic. The construction phase and everything else, because that was a
Okay, let's go
parking
back
lot.
to the pandemic. You were under construction during the pandemic, and you had to stop.
Well, we didn't stop, but it slowed to a snail's pace,
Okay.
as well as the price of all of the equipment and building materials and everything went up a lot. So from a pandemic perspective, it took longer to complete, and it cost more to complete than we had anticipated. But at that point, there wasn't any turning back. We're committed. And the mayor has asked me that multiple times.
Right.
Stuart, are you still committed to this project? And the answer immediately is yes.
So when the pandemic hit, you know, well, now we could all get this because we all got locked in the house. So it was really not locked in, but we were advised to stay home. There was really no real shopping, or especially you said you had your building just being built. So you wasn't open, but the construction of it had to slow down, and that costs, right?
Oh, yeah.
That costs, and people don't realize that this is all these things cost. I mean, it's not like a supermarket. Bam, open up, and then you come in and buy goods, and you got to pay your employees, pay everybody. So the pandemic really hurt Braymiller downtown.
Big time. And I'm also, I think a lot of people don't understand, I'm also not a tenant. That building.
You own that building?
Absolutely. That building
okay.
is, I own the parking lot. I own. I'm not a tenant. So again, that's
Wow.
my commitment to downtown Buffalo.
Yeah.
Initially, the project was owned by Seminole Real Estate, but that was one of my conditions of doing it, that I'm a lousy tenant. I didn't want to be a tenant.
You own that building.
I own that
Wow,
building.
what? See, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I bet a lot of people don't know that. So
No.
if you had to pull out, you're taking a big dump here.
Absolutely. That's my commitment.
Right.
It's huge.
And it's a really big commitment that he did for our community to come downtown and buy that building and the Braymiller Market down there. Wow. That is something else. So now you're receiving $560,000 from the federal COVID relief money. You're receiving that, right? You're
I
supposed
haven't
to?
gotten it yet, but yeah.
Buffalo Strategic Planning is helping you out with that.
Yes, there's a lot of Braymiller believers that have been helping me to make that happen.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so, but it's on its way.
It's on its way. Still don't have
And-
it. But also importantly, unlike everyone else, I didn't receive a nickel of COVID pandemic funding at all. Most people received it in the form of a grant, took the money, and a lot of those places closed because, you know, they were licking their wounds, and that kind of fixed it. And they said, we don't want to do this anymore, and they stopped. And that was the concern of the city, that if I got this money, that I was going to close, take the money and close.
Right.
That's never been part of my plan at all. But since then, they've turned that grant money into a loan with a lot of strings attached. And again, I'm not going anywhere. So from that perspective, I guess I don't care. But at the same time, that was the only way that was going to
seeing
happen.
that you own the building and you took a big hit during the pandemic, you obviously you're not. How can you go somewhere? You're pretty much almost. You're in the game to help now and to make things happen at the market. Am I right or wrong with that?
There's no turning back. Absolutely. We're going to get it done.
So now, so people listening, is it a loan or is
It's a loan. It's a forgivable loan, but again, there's a lot of strings attached to it and a lot of hurdles that have to be overcome, not only to get that money, unlike others, but also to not have to pay it back.
And this being a COVID relief money, it's money because it was created from the federal government for the COVID to release small business for COVID. It's nothing is directly out of our pockets, like for property taxes and stuff like that.
Correct.
The money was given to the city for COVID, right?
Correct.
And that's what this is. This
Came
is
out
not
of the American Rescue Plan funds, which again are all taxpayer dollars, but again, this money was released from the federal government 3 years ago.
okay.
So it has no impact on your future.
Right, right. And some other smaller businesses, people are probably listening, well, why did we get any money? You can apply.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's why this money is actually left over. There was a small business grant program that was created with that money,
Right.
and they actually ran out of qualified applicants. And now, because of Braymiller, there is another $3 million put out there for small
That's
business
good.
help. That again, Common Council demanded that if this money was coming to me, they felt that they needed to do even more for more small businesses. So that money is also out there available. How to get it, I'm not sure, but there is another $3 million program out there for small businesses within the city of
If
Buffalo.
you have a small business, call your councilman in
Absolutely.
your district, and they should let you know. So some say Braymiller, well, I go down there and it's a little pricey. What do you say?
Well, I guess my answer to that, Kerry, is it's based on where you're used to shopping. So I don't want to mention any names, but there are some stores that are out there that sell things by the dollar. There are other stores that are out there that are super centers that I believe everyone is aware of the fact that nobody competes with those guys.
Nobody cares with Walmart.
They're
No,
just
come and eat you up.
huge, and they
Yeah.
love to grind out little guys, and they love to make national buys, put their names, their great value names on things and whatnot. The Braymiller model, we can't compete with super centers, multi-bazillion dollar operations. We're a small operator, but what we do better is support our local producers, our local manufacturers, our local farmers. Those guys, we do a great job of doing that where those guys don't. So again, from a pricing perspective, we do the best we can every day. We don't do fake sales. We don't create sales that are unbelievable. We do the best we can with what we got every day.
So tell us, what are you doing to be competitive? What is Braymiller doing to be competitive? Because you're right, there's you can't compare with Tops because they got huge stores. I mean, Tops got what, over 100 stores now?
Well, that's an international mega company.
Yeah,
It's huge.
and definitely not Walmart. I mean, I don't like going in that place because it's just so hectic. You know what I mean? And
Well,
so
again,
what are you doing? That's personal, but
they fill a spot, and there are people that are comfortable there, like to shop there, have to shop there, whatever it is. That's typically not our target customer. Where we are competitive and super competitive is with produce, and that was the thing that the mayor asked, and that's what the Common Council
Fresh
was
produce?
looking for is produce, because again, we buy as much of that stuff as directly as we can, so the quality is tremendous, the pricing is good on all of our produce, as well as our prepared foods.
Right.
I know we're competitive there,
So-
as well as the quality.
So if you come to Braymiller's, you're gonna get good produce. You're gonna get. Yeah, we'll take one. We're gonna take one call. Is that all right with you?
Kerry, I'm yours, man. Whatever you want.
Hey, welcome to a senior moment. I got Stuart Green, the owner of Braymiller's, on the line. Good morning.
Hello, this is Dr. Vijay Cotton. I have a question for the owner of Braymiller's. I noticed, is he changing his business plan to better serve the community that he's within? Because this community that he's within, it's not similar to Hamburg. 120% of the community that he's in live below the poverty line, in contrast to Hamburg. So I'm questioning whether or not he's changing his business plan. And he has said about 3 times that there's a lot of strings attached, as well there should be, because he's giving you so much money. So that's my question to him, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great question, and I appreciate your call. The changing our business model, like I said, for us to compete with super centers and get to those prices, I just frankly can't. But we do the best we can. We ask our customers every day of what they're looking for, what they need, so that they don't have to go someplace else. And yes, to the point where the Hamburg store is similar. It's similar in that we provide food. It's similar that some of the products are purchased directly from local producers. Those are the similar things. As far as what we sell every day, it's totally different. So don't misunderstand that. But we're doing the best we can with what we got to take care of all of our customers, not just one group, not another group, not based on anything other than the people that walk in the door, and we ask them what they're looking for, and we do our best to provide that. So again, I can't be everything to everybody, and I can't compete with super centers and international grocery operators. It's difficult for us to do that. So again, we might not be everything for everybody, and to be competitive on center store products, difficult for us to do that. However, I will tell you, from your perspective, the amount of SNAP benefits and WIC benefits that we do every day, almost, I think now, over a third of my sales are between WIC and SNAP, whereas my Hamburg store is less than 4%. So yes, we are meeting those needs. We're doing the best we can. We will continue to provide food for any one of our customers that walks in the door as competitively as possible.
So you do take SNAP and WIC.
Absolutely.
That's really good. That's a good point, and people should realize that. But you did say your produce is competitive all over the place.
Absolutely.
Okay, your produce is all over the place. So you got great produce,
and
you have a great deli too, right?
And our prepared foods, absolutely.
Right. How'd you do over Thanksgiving?
Well, again, the deli is kind of quiet over Thanksgiving because everybody's home making their own
how'd
stuff.
you do over Thanksgiving?
But it's good. Yeah,
the store did good over Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
So people are starting to come back in now and getting their feet on the ground and starting to come into Braymiller's. Oh, yeah. Because if you go in there, and Doctor, if you go in there, and you see, you probably have, you see for yourself, the prices are not that bad. They're pretty good, and I get what he's saying today.
It depends on where you shop.
I get what you're saying today. You own that whole building.
Oh yeah.
And you got caught in the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
So I'm surprised you're even sitting here.
Yeah.
Because you're not a super conglomerate. You're just a small business owner that's trying to help out the community.
We're slugging it out the best we can with what we got, Kerry, no doubt.
So you accept SNAP. And you accept WIC, and people should know that, right? And
absolutely.
And so, can people come and buy? You said that you have to prepare the food different.
So there's because of SNAP benefits, some of our.
But you can buy anything in the store off SNAP.
Yeah, pretty much anything
Okay.
There are a few items that are not SNAP eligible, and again, it's all pre-programmed in the system, and but hot food is not available from SNAP. So that's always a conflict. So some of our food we still prepare, and it's refrigerated so that it turns it into SNAP eligible.
Okay.
So, and again, we're doing the best we can.
Okay.
And figuring it out, and our customer base is extremely diverse. We have some of the wealthiest people in the city of Buffalo that shop in my store, and we have some people that don't have anything that shop in my store.
Right.
And so it's extremely diverse, as is my employee base. I don't know if you've noticed when you walk in the door.
Oh no, I have no problem with that.
And the mayor asked me early on to do my best to employ as many city residents as we can.
There's tons of city residents in your store.
And I want to be honest with that as well. I didn't do that at all. It just happened because it's the right thing to do. I have not yet hired one person over another person based on where they live. However, over 90% of my employees live in the city of Buffalo.
So do you have greens and ham hocks and stuff like that? No?
We always have greens, absolutely. Ham hocks, we had them for a while. We didn't sell enough of them.
Right.
I had another customer ask me for chitlins for the holiday. I didn't have them on hand. I could get them for them, and they got them someplace else quicker because I didn't have them. But again, those are the things that we do. If people are looking for it, and that's what we need to have, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Hey, Stuart, we're out of time. Stuart Green from Braymiller's, he took a chance on coming downtown Buffalo. Go in there and just take a look for yourself and maybe do some shopping. He takes SNAP, he takes WIC, takes cash, you know what I mean, and credit and everything else. But I mean, he's downtown Buffalo trying to, and nobody else wanted to come downtown Buffalo. So if you left, that void would be there, and we'd be talking about, well, who's going to come down Buffalo? Nobody's going to come down there, not now. So Braymiller took a chance on there. We thank you for coming to Buffalo. We hope your success. Get out of the pandemic. Start serving really good food down there. Go down there and just take a look, guys. I'm gonna go down there. I go down there once in a while to eat, and the great deli, great produce, great. But you sell everything, milk, everything.
Everything.
We gotta go. This is Kerry Saunders on the CEO Moment. Stewart, you want to say anything real quick? Location, and phone number. What's the location?
Yeah, we need your support. 225 Ellicott Street. Please stop down and give us a chance. I appreciate it.
Braymiller is 225 Ellicott Street, right downtown Buffalo. Go down there and just give them a chance. Take a look at the store. It's great stuff. Thank you so much, Stuart, for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me on.
This is the CEO Moment Radio Show. We'll see you here next week on WFO Radio 96.5, 1080. We got to go. Have a good week. Stay warm and get out.
You just heard a Senior Moment with Kerry Saunders. Join Kerry every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here for a Senior Moment on the legendary Power